Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect. I've jumped us back up here to the Normandy. We finished up with asteroid X-57 last time, saved the colony, and so now we're back up here on the ship. But before we head out to tackle our next mission, I figured it was about time we go through and speak with the crew some and see how everybody's doing after that harrowing experience. So we're going to start down here in the engine room with Tali Zora, our Quarian helper.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
Oh, she doesn't sound too happy.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth it feels like we're not even moving, and the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
They're too quiet?
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down.
Good point.
I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Okay, so we heard some about Tali's pilgrimage a few episodes ago, where they send the young Quarians out when they're about to come of age, and they go out into the galaxy, and they're supposed to return when they find something of value. But yeah, it sounded like maybe there's something else to why they have them go out on pilgrimage.
Sounds like the pilgrimage isn't just about finding resources for the fleet. Maybe it's about teaching you to appreciate your people and culture.
You're probably right. We Quarians spend our whole lives traveling, but really we never leave home. The pilgrimage has given me a whole new perspective on our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them, but maybe they just wanted a different life.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually, but we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
Okay, so Tali's feeling a little homesick, which is to be expected. She is the only Quarian on the ship, and there aren't really many Quarians that we meet in our travels at all, because very few of them leave the migrant fleet. But while she is the only Quarian here, she's also a wealth of information. And we spoke with Engineer Adams last time, and she knows a whole lot about starship engines. And one of the other topics that we didn't get a chance to ask her about last time is the Geth, because the Quarian people actually made the Geth. They were the Geth are the ones that forced them out of their home systems and into the migrant fleet in the first place. So let's see what Tali can tell us about the Geth that we've been fighting all over the galaxy so far.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Well, that could be interesting.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
Cool. So we get 2 options for how to respond to that. And one of them is to point out that AI research is illegal, which it is according to the Citadel Conventions. Now, when I was first playing this game, and I heard about the Citadel Conventions against AI, I just always assumed that they were put in place because of the Quarians' mistake, because of the creation of the Geth, and that's why they had those rules in place. But as we'll hear, those rules might have been in place even before this whole thing happened with the Geth, which makes you wonder, what happened in the past that would necessitate them implementing rules like that.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. 1 million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So the Geth share brainpower?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in the group, the smarter they are.
That doesn't sound good at all.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
So this is interesting. This shows how the Quarians weren't setting out to make artificial intelligences, and they weren't setting out to make killer robots like the Geth. They made smart machines that were able to carry out complex tasks, but as a byproduct, when they got together and they could talk to each other, they as a group got smarter and became more aware and more advanced. And so it's interesting because there's several theories about how human civilization came about, and one of them is that as more and more humans got into close proximity with one another, they were able to share ideas. Collectively, humanity started to become more advanced. And so it shows a very similar path and a very organic rise for these Geth that are obviously synthetic beings. But it's still interesting.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
So, it wasn't that the robots rose up and tried to overthrow their creators. The creators actually struck at them first and tried to turn them off and destroy them. Now, whether the Geth would have risen up eventually, we'll never know. But it definitely sounds like the Quarians shot first.
Hey, you can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
Okay. So, another thing that Bioware does beautifully, and they love to throw into most of their games, is moral quandary. And this definitely showcases that. We've been fighting with the Geth throughout the entire game, and, you know, they've just been trying to kill us. We heard that they were trying to bring back the Reapers, so it sounded like they were, you know, either trying to wipe us out because they hate organics or because they have some sort of pseudo-religious reason for it, but whichever it was, it didn't matter. They were evil. But now it turns out that maybe they were kind of forced into that role because when their creators tried to destroy them. So it's all sort of in a weird gray area, and yeah, I love that question is always in the back of your mind as we're going through the rest of this stuff.
I should go.
See you later.